All right, good afternoon, Coach Harris. Welcome back. How's
Excited to be back.
Yeah. So I got to ask, what brought this reunion to fruition?
Just first of all, just really good relationship with Coach Miles. Through having the opportunity to work for him for 2 years, or work with him for 2 years. I experienced a lot. I learned a lot from him, and our backgrounds are very similar, and that's what I think brought us together from the beginning. So, to get an opportunity to come back here with him in a coordinator role was something that it was just it was too good to turn down, and being back with him, I've been able to, in these last couple of months, get everything that I've wanted out of it. Continuing to learn from him and continuing to, grow as a professional myself and coaching a different position this time around. It's been a lot of fun.
What's the difference between the Tim Harris Jr. that left UCF versus the one that came back?
Just growth in general. I had the opportunity to go to, coach in my alma mater last year, and I grew there, working with different coaches, from different backgrounds who had done different things schematically, and I learned a lot there and grew a lot from that standpoint. But I think that's the biggest thing. I was only going 11 months, so just going through a season and being able to learn from different people, guys who I hadn't gotten an opportunity to work with before, who had been in different leagues and done things a lot differently than I had been around. Me being able to pick up things from them and hopefully be able to bring back, and some of those things can help us here this year.
On a similar note, Gus has kind of told us about what the last year has been like for him as far as his role changing and then taking back play calling. So what's different about Gus since the time you left to now?
I would say, just he's been a lot more refreshed since I've gotten back. I know, at the very end of that second season, you could tell that there was a lot of things changing around him. Our college football as a whole was changing a lot, and it was kind of it was taking a toll on him, and you could tell. But being back here, he's refreshed now. He's excited and back to the guy that he was the first year that I was with him, where he was excited and more focused on football. I think he has the right pieces around him now. And I'm not just talking about from a football coaching standpoint, but just in our building to handle and deal with a lot of other things, and allows him to really be able to focus on football the way that he likes to do.
I know there'll be multiple, but is 11 still going to be the base that you guys run out of?
Yes, sir.
And then that third receiver position, obviously you got Xavier back, you've got Kobe back. What's kind of the competition been like as far as the third receiver position, and what sort of skill set is most important for whoever's going to get the bulk of those reps?
Being honest, and I know it may sound cliche, but it's been competition for all three positions, and that's the exciting part about the group of receivers that we have. You lose a guy like Javon, after the success that he had last year, that's hard to replace. But when you look at some of the pieces that we brought in through the high school recruiting and through the transfer portal, we brought in a lot of guys to create competition, and that was by design. Brought in a lot of experienced guys. Jacoby Jones, coming from Ohio University, missed a lot of last season, but you watch his season before the 2022 season, he was one of the better receivers in the MAC conference. Javaris Johnson, been at Auburn, being one of their most productive players, and they add a different dimension to it. Jacoby's a bigger, stronger guy, on the outside as a receiver. Javaris is another speed guy to add to the slot position, but he and Xavier both this offseason have done a lot of playing outside, because what we want to do is be a receiver room that shows people different looks than we have in the past. Sometimes it's been where the guys that play the slot, they've always been there for us. Like the smaller guys, they always do these things. We're trying to build our group now to where we have the best wide receivers on the field and guys that can do everything and not just being very specific.
Yeah, Xavier had mentioned that a couple of times ago. Most recently, this on Monday. How much does that really kind of change what you're capable of doing with him being able to go outside and maybe put Chauncey or Javarius in that slot position?
Yeah, it changes a lot, because it changes looks for defenses, and where people, a lot of times when you have a system that's you've done things a certain way for a long period of time, everyone kind of can they start getting keys on you, and they understand what certain guys in certain positions, what you're using for. When you start being able to develop different parts of guys' game and they can play in different areas, there's always more things that you can do as an offense. So we're trying to take advantage of that as much as we can, especially early on in training camp, just giving guys the opportunity to do different things and seeing what they're best at. And then at the end of the day, as we get closer to a game, we'll kind of hone in and be a lot more specific then.
What's it like working with a new position room this go around?
Oh, it's been really good. Biggest thing, my background, when I started as a high school coach, I was more of a quarterback receiver coach to start with. And, so it's kind of back to my roots for me, so I'm enjoying it, just being back to what, I started out in the profession doing. Being honest, when I got to college, coaching was the first, I had to learn how to coach running backs, because everything that I did as a high school coach, the running back, we ran the ball, but we were a very simple run game. Everything that I did in coming up in the profession was built around receiver and quarterback play. So, being now back in the receiver room, it's been really good, and it's been refreshing to just do something different.
Gus has made it clear he's going to call the plays, but he's going to lean on you. He's going to lean on Darren for assistance. Where do you feel like you can provide that guidance, and what sort of role do you kind of feel like that's going to look like on game day?
Well, number one, I think starts off being back here in this role. It's a big part of that is just, Coach and I, we view a lot of things the same, but at the same time, we're different in how we like to do things too. So my biggest asset is, just being able to add different things to our pass game that, Coach might have not have done in the past. And, he's at that point in his career now where, he's a lot more open to ideas and doing things, that are a little bit different for him. And, and that's what I was excited about, coming back, because I know, talking to him, I can hear in those conversations that he was open to that. So, I'm going to do the very best job that I can to collaborate with Coach and make us the best offense that we can possibly be. But and however that is, that's in the pass game, even in the run game. Because I know guys, you can think, oh, he's coaching receivers now, like he's not going to be as much in the run game. But I'm a big believer that it all starts with our run game too. So, in all areas of the offense, I'll have a part of helping coach the best I can.
What kind of opportunity does the UCF have this season?
Oh, we have a great opportunity. We have a lot of really great opponents on our schedule. We're going a lot of fun environments, and we have an opportunity to take the next step as a program. You look at last year, and the record obviously isn't what any of us wanted here at the end of the day, but you just watch the competitiveness of the games last year, and I knew, just even from afar, because I wasn't here, but from afar, I knew how close this program was to really breaking the door down. And I think just being here this spring and going through the summer with our guys, and even through these first 3 days of practice, I believe in even more that we're really close to breaking the door down. But it all takes, just continuing to get better every day, and I have full confidence that we'll do that on both sides of the ball. And but the opportunity is great for us, and we just got to take it and run with it.
What's the biggest thing that this offense needs to do between now and week one?
Oh, just continue to gel. It's all about details. You look back at some of the things that you don't see on the scoreboard from last year. You just look at, where we were in penalties. How many pre-snap penalties we had, that blue drives that would have probably put games away, and some, that put you in position to not get a first down when you probably really needed it in a key moment. So we watched the cut-up of all those penalties just 2 nights ago, and just all the little things like that is what we have to show. Before we ever step on the field and focus on plays, we got to show that we can be a disciplined group, a group that believes in each other, and a group that focuses on details and executing at a high level every single time that we're out there.
How are you different, Coach, today than you were the last time you were here?
I'm a year more experienced. I've had the opportunity to go away from a year and get different ideas. I think that's the biggest thing, because you being in one place for a long time, things just become a routine, and it's hard to go out and just find new ideas if you don't just travel or bring people in. So going somewhere else and being in an offense that was an air raid type pass game, and then our run game was a little more 12 personnel, downhill, physical, tough run game. Like, I was able to get the best of both worlds, at my last place. And, those are things that I'll take, that I bring back here with me, that, if the opportunity presents itself, there'll be things that will be able to help us here.
What's it been like working with KJ and this talented, deep roster that highlighted by the running back group there?
No, it's been great. I said we got our personnel on offense is really impressive on paper. It's all about just making sure that those pieces gel together throughout this training camp, and they're doing that every day. You're watching the development of our guys every single day, and it's been evident. You're just watching from practice 1 to practice 3, very evident. KJ, his experience shows, from day one. You're watching a guy that started at a high level for 3 years now, and so a lot of times you get in those early practices, and when you have a guy that's not as experienced, everything's all over the place. KJ is very in control out there, and that, the rest of our offense feeds off that. Our receiver group, we have a lot of experienced guys there now, and that's helped us. We added a couple of experienced pieces this off season, and that was strategic. We know we needed that. We had a lot of young guys that haven't been through a lot yet that were kind of being forced to be in certain positions. So adding some experienced pieces will help us. But the running back room, like you said, is probably one of the best in the country. And they practice like that, and they train like that every single day. Because a lot of people, you look at their numbers and all that, and people just kind of run with that narrative that, oh, they're this. But you watch all 4 of those guys, 4 or 5 of those guys that are in that room. You watch them train every day. You watch how they attack the day, and you know exactly what you're going to get. And then I would be remiss if I didn't talk about our tight end room and the development that they've had since the time that I was here before. There was kind of an older group that, you had some guys that could play, but you have a more skilled group now, of younger players too. So, really excited about them. And then our offensive line, Coach Hand's done a great job with them, continuing to develop. But personnel-wise, I feel really good about it. It's just, getting those pieces to continue to gel and get better with each other every day.
Gotten a chance to play CFB 25 at all since?
I have played a good bit of it. Won national championship in year 1 with us.
Nice. So, what has it been like to see the team respond to the game? Because I've heard from a lot of players that played it and how it's kind of helped bring the team together.
No, it's been good, man. Even for the coaches, you talk about the players is one thing, but we have, little events throughout the end of the summer where I walk up on one table and our coaches are talking about the game and who's playing good for them and who's not, and we kind of tease the guys about that. One guy, shout out to Chauncey Magwood, he's a stud on the game. I mess with him every day in our room, so he better play like he does on the video game. If he does that, we'll be in pretty good shape. But no, it's been fun, even talking about the game with our guys every day. And the chances that we get to play it now are slim because our mornings start pretty early and we end pretty late. But that back part of the summer, man, it was a lot of fun just collaborating all just by how that game's going.
Who would you say is the best on the team at the game?
Ooh, on the game, RJ.
Oh, like playing the game.
Oh, playing the game. I don't know. I haven't played any of the players yet, but by the way that some of them talk, I don't think Kobe Hudson's very good. I don't hear him talk. No, he might be all right. I saw him. He posted a couple videos on his Instagram story that I watched. He looked like he was beating some people up. So he's about the only one that I paid attention to when he talked about playing the game.
So who's best coach then?
I like to put myself up there.
There you go.
I like to put myself up there because, we schemed some stuff up on that game. And so any of our coaches that want it, they can get my screen name and we can get after it.
How does it kind of help bring a coaching staff together for this?
The game itself?
Yes.
Oh, man, it's good. It's a fun deal because, we get so, in our world, everything is so, it feels, you get the pressure cooker a lot of times, and there's a lot of ups and downs with what we're dealing with because we got to focus and keep so many things tight. But whenever you get a chance to kind of relax and do things, like that, even playing against each other or not, but just being able to kick back and enjoy the simple things, man, it's always good. So it's been fun. Like I said, talking to some of our coaches about the game and things that they're experiencing within the game, it's a lot of fun conversation.
Awesome. Well, best of luck both on the virtual and IRL football fields.